Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. The last video I talked about I'd be getting a guitar in this week from a customer, and today it has arrived. So what we've got is it's an Audition Japanese made guitar, which would have been, I think this is probably a 1965 model, I think. And these were sold by Woolworth mainly years ago, and made by Tesco and sold under the Audition name for Woolworth. And this one has been around a day or two, to say the least. So I'm just now getting the first look at it, and we'll have to just try to get into it and see and give it a good looking over. And I haven't talked to the customer yet to see exactly what he wants to do to it. It's definitely going to need some major cleaning. So, got the gold foil pickups. Looks like some of the pole pieces are screwed out. Let's say major dirt. Not sure about. They seem to go in position, but the switches are kind of the pots feel smooth. Well, I say that. I think it's just dragging on it's just dragging on the pick guard, which is some kind of plating, and it's kind of starting to come up a little bit. So some pretty major dirt going on. See the made in Japan neck plate. I'm missing the strap holder there. I want to say strap lock, but we got a screw. And the back of this neck looks pretty rough. We're also missing the binding off of this side. The binding's gone. See any cracks? See some dings and bangs. Okay, somebody has replaced the tuner on here, because it's got, they've sawed off your base E tuner and then replaced with another one of a similar style. The turning key's a little bit different. And that one looks like the G string is, the tuner's bent. So the guy that this belonged to his dad. He played it years ago, and he's had it for years, and he's wanting to fix it up and give it back to his dad. So I've got to talk to him and see what fixing it up means. what level of restoration we're going to go to here. So nuts come loose. 0 fret is missing and has been replaced with what looks like a toothpick. Part of a toothpick. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll get started into this thing. So if you're interested in this thing, just hang on and we'll get to it. Okay, let's get down to business here. I think the first thing to do is to remove this string. First order should probably be gloves. Okay, here's our toothpick 0 fret. Okay, you can see our plastic nut, but it looks to be in one piece. And I need something to start putting stuff in. I'll find something here in a minute. Oh, okay, there's that. And this, and I hope everybody can see what I'm doing. No, not really. Okay, this trim is kind of like a Jazz Master, but kind of in a little bit. But it's got this little door that raises up. Get your strings loaded in and out. A lot of times these are missing. That's the thing, what I'm seeing so far is everything seems to be here. I mean, maybe it ain't perfect, the tuners, whatever, but with the knobs, the pickups, the switches, the bridge, a lot of times these bridges are gone. And the way these bridges work, you've got these wheels that adjust your height, but then you have these rollers that are on a piece of threaded rod, and you roll them back and forth, and that adjusts your string spacing, which, if you do a lot of, bending or whatever, it's going to move these a little bit, and there's going to move them, but that's minute. Okay, let's just see about this truss rod. I was hoping to find something more to that size. Possibly. That's not it. That's not it either, but it's close enough, maybe. Well, it's not got anything. Okay, it's getting tighter, but it was backed off. It wasn't doing anything. It wasn't loose, but it was just snug. It wasn't holding anything. Now, whether it does anything or not, that's a different story. So let me try to get a container so I can put some of this stuff in it as I go. Here we go, right here. To start with, there's one to start with. It's really going to have a major cleaning. I guess I could remove the neck, because I know that's got to happen regardless of what he wants to do with it. Don't seem to be nothing crazy going on with it. Like nothing stripped out or broke off or none of that kind of stuff with the neck bolts, screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them. This thing is sticky, very sticky. But I've heard these before like this, and actually, depending, the type of music you're playing or whatever, they actually sound pretty cool. I mean, they make noise. I mean, they're microphonic, but they actually got a pretty good little bite to them. Okay. That off. Try to get everybody where they can see. There we go. All right, there's our neck. That nobody can see nothing I'm doing. Here we go. You can see your truss rod adjustment in the end right there. So, and like I say, it seems to work. So I'm going to put this neck out of the way. Kind of keep all this stuff together. And get everybody where they can see what I'm doing. And that's what you have for a bridge. Let's go ahead and try to take. So these screws are really worn out. This thing's been apart quite a few times, it looks like, in its life. And I'm going to have to get something else. I got to keep everything separate. I want to put exactly back the right stuff back in the right spot. Okay, there's our bridge. And it's in pretty rough shape. So can use a little work. But everything's there. It's all freed up. Nothing's broke or bent terribly bad. It's got a little bow to it. Okay, let's see if I'm going to take this. Go ahead and take this trim off so we can take a look at it. And it's actually one of the better ones, I think, if there's such thing in these type of guitars. Like I said, these were sold to Woolworth in the 60s. They were, an affordable guitar. But actually, if you go back and look at, an inflation calculator and look at what they cost, they weren't cheap. They're not, we live in the day of cheap quality guitars. And back then, these still weren't cheap. And they call them a cheap guitar, but if your parents bought you one of these, they had to do a little saving to get them. All right, now that should just come right up out of there. Okay, made in Japan. And then you adjust it using those springs. Now, so everybody can see, I'm trying to sit here and do this and that, but that's how you adjust the tension. So it's real, somewhat similar to like a Jaguar, but that's a pretty neat system. You just, run your strings through, and a little bit wallowed out from all the years of playing though. Okay, that's that. Let's go ahead and take the pick guard off and see what lies beneath. All right, let me get these out of here. Okay, I didn't cheat and look, so we're going to see this together for the first time. Just exactly what we've got. Okay. Trying to see if I can read that, and it keeps reflecting. I can't see it. It almost looks like it's got something over top of it. It's going to have to clean it where I can really... violet, yeah, a violet potentiometer. I've never seen one just exactly like that, but that's, this is all, nothing looks like it's ever been changed, the best I can tell. Okay, we got 500K. Well, I'll say they hadn't been changed, but this one, it looks like the original parts, but this one isn't hooked to anything. It's not doing anything. So, yeah, there's been something. Yeah, we got a bad solder joint. It looks like, just have to get a schematic and look as far as how it's wired with these switches. I'm not sure how that's all supposed to go without looking at a schematic, because there's so many different ones of these. The switch looks pretty corroded in there, though. You can see a lot of the green corrosion and stuff, so that's going to have to be taken apart and cleaned. Of course, the pickups are still attached here and all that, so ply type body, a sandwich. I'm going to try to refrain from saying plywood. I know a lot of people say that, but that's not necessarily correct, as far as it's not really like plywood. It is and it isn't. It's, I want to say like sandwich construction. It's really a light body when you get that pick guard off. I think the pick guard weighs as much as the body does. So, yeah, I got a lot of cleaning. We got some kind of extraterrestrial life forms that were living down in that trim at some point in time. So, like I say, I have to talk to the customer and see exactly what he wants to do, as far as how far he wants to go with this. I know I have seen these sell for $300-400 at times on, Reverb and places. But that's not, This one, I don't think he's not worried about selling it, but it is very dirty. So it's going to have some major cleaning. So I'll talk to him and see what he wants to do with it, how far he wants to go, and because this neck's going to take some work with replacing this binding and the 0 fret. I ain't sure about all that. I've got to study it out and see, because like I say, all these things were made so many different ways, so many different scale lengths. None of them really ever had any frets on them. They weren't very many frets on them, there wasn't much fret there when they were new. So there'll definitely be another video on this as I start moving ahead on it. We just don't know how far ahead we're going yet. So excuse me. If this was interesting, give me a thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, all that good stuff. Get on board, because we're always doing something like this. And but that kind of gives us a first look at it and see what we've got. We know we got some tuners that need some attention, but I don't know. Like I say, I don't know. It's a family heirloom type thing, how far he wants to go with it. But anyway, that'll be in a video coming up. So anyway, I appreciate everybody watching, and until the next time, see you.